Horses in the yard for the third at Kalgoorlie, another maiden, this time over a mile, sponsored by NJ Industries. Scratch number 4, Pirates Alley, and scratch number 11, Hutamaki. We start with Manganui, horse number 1, start 14 here, but only the first start for new trainer Helen Harding. This horse did sit on the speed 2 starts ago at Bunbury when it's Lims Kosciuszko who takes out the Group 1 at Singapore, but we're back here at Kalgoorlie for the last Goldfields variety, should I say, handicap, a Class 2 1400, and we do have scratchings at the bottom, a couple of them no available riders, including number 15 Aiden's Choice and 17 Deliberation, as well as 14 Sonic Ruler, who came out this morning. So that leaves us here with a field of 14 to go around, starting with Elusive Dream. Lucy Fiore looking for yet another winner on today's program, teaming up with Peter Fernie, beaten 2.5 by Duo Muso at 1200 last start. And I do think that this horse will be a bit better suited today at 14. $7, not a bad each way play on the last, considering how good a day Lucy Fiore's had in the saddle. Number 2, Soldiers Camp. Chloe has a party rides here for new trainer Charlotte Skerritt. Had a first up run at Kalgoorlie in a higher grade and ran into Debonair, who was an impressive winner yet again today to make it 4 in a line. So that form is better than what it reads on paper, especially considering that he drops back into a Class 2 here second up. But from the wide draw, he's probably going to have to burn early to try and find a spot. Number 3, Pray With You. Rickie Brown and Brandon Louis combine, as they did last start with this 5-year-old. He gets back, he runs on, he always looks like he wants further, but at this stage, he's only won the once, and that was over 1200. They keep him here today at 14, and he will be definitely flashing home late as long as he gets a nice uninterrupted run through. He's a winning chance here for mine at $8. Number 4, Scottish Laird, yet to really reproduce the form that we saw from this 3-year-old at Esperance back in their season in March. Has had 3 runs this time in. The best that he could produce was a 6-length defeat. So today, at $3, he probably looks like he needs to improve to justify that quote even. Number 5, Ruling Dame. This is our favourite and hard to go past, I would have thought as well. Coming out of metro racing at Belmont Park and even provincial racing at Northam down in Perth, this is a lot easier. We're talking about a horse going from a provincial Class 5 back into a country Class 2 on a day where they can make ground wide and down the centre. I think Ruling Dame's very hard to hold out here. Peter Fernie and Tash Faithful combine. Currently, $3.70 Ruling Dame. Number 6, Altina, a last start maiden winner, but over a mile, and it was the first victory for this rising 7-year-old mare at her 28th run. I'd imagine she'll find this tougher, and she does rise up a kilo as well, and she's 50-1. Number 7, I Am King. Gary Bowen and Vicky Corver combining. Put in a really good run behind Debonair 3 starts ago, but since then has been nowhere near that level, beaten 26 and 4 1/4. Need to see him improve again today. Number 8, Maraschino. Chanel Cooper rides here for Peter Fernie at 54 kilos. Hasn't raced for almost 7 weeks and goes from 2200 back to 1400. I thought this horse would be run off his legs, but he has been kept very safe in betting at currently a $13 chance, and that's halved in quote, in from 26 if you don't mind. We move to number 9 now, and that's Mariah, a 3-year-old Rommel filly trained by Brett Drury locally. Broke her maiden 3 starts ago and then has placed behind Brazen Empress on 2 separate occasions since. Brazen Empress took on the older horses in a staying race earlier on and was fairly good into 3rd placing as well. So there's nothing wrong with that Brazen Empress form. And Mariah is on the second line of betting at $4.80. Number 10, Novatorio, is an impressive last start winner. She was really strong late and through the line over 1100 metres. She clearly returned to a bit of form after she'd been in between grades and in between quality of performance really over the last 6 to 8 months. But Novatorio looks to have turned a corner, and if she can reproduce, then $13 is not a bad quote for number 10. Number 11, Whiskey Mac, 6 weeks between runs, 1760 back to 1400 off a freshen up. Lisa Staples rides for Justin Robbins, number 11. Number 12, Lacey Ace, Helen Harding, Bo Edwards, likely to get back, and I haven't seen enough since she broke her maiden. She's a $26 chance. Number 13, Witch Street, beaten 6 by Duo Muso last start. Her form's tapered off deeper into the preparation. Cassie Martin rides at 53.5 for Ash Grace. Scratch 14, Scratch 15, final runner 16, Moonlight River. Scott Gittos, a newcomer to WA, a Queensland jockey who's now going to base himself, I believe, in Kalgoorlie, riding for Brian Allen, beaten 11 lengths by Debonair last start after leading and fading noticeably late. They're making their way around behind the barriers for the last 90 seconds away from the Goldfields Variety Handicap over the 1400 metres, and my numbers are 5, 10, 9 and 3. Not an easy ride by any stretch. Tash Faithful still going to jump from barrier 14 of 14 even after the scratchings, but I do think here that Ruling Dame clearly has the best race form, and they have been making ground all throughout this program. So I'm expecting here that Tash Faithful will look to join that 3 and 4 deep moving line as soon as it starts to build from the 6 or 800, and provided that she's still within striking distance, if she could run to anywhere near her third placing behind Russian Sniper, who was a winner yesterday at Belmont, or her 6.5 length defeat even behind Sentimental Bell, another winner at Belmont yesterday, she'd have to be hard to beat in a Class 2 at Kalgoorlie. 5 for me, Ruling Dame in the last, from number 10 in Novatorio. The turn of foot this filly showed last start was really impressive over 1100 metres. If she could reproduce that at $13, she'd be flying home late. Number 9, Mariah's been a model of consistency since she broke her maiden 3 starts ago, and she's run into a pretty handy one in Brazen Empress at her last 2. And then number 3 in Pray With You, who can be hard to catch, but the eye-catching effort behind Brazen Empress last start was good enough for me to include in my numbers yet again. 5, 10, 9 and 3. This is 4, 5 or 6 lengths easier than what Ruling Dame has met at her last couple, but she is admittedly going to need a very good steer from Tash Faithful here today to take out the last. My numbers are 5, 10, 9 and 3. They haven't started the loading process yet, so we can whip through this market. Number 1, Elusive Dream, is 10 into 650. Number 2, Soldiers Camp, a $31 chance. Number 3, Pray With You, is $6 out to $9. Number 4, Scottish Laird, 34 into 20. Number 5, Ruling Dame, 440 to 370 and clear favourite. 19 to 61 for number 6, Altina. 40 to 1, number 7, I Am King. 26 into 13, a move of note, number 8, Maraschino. 550 and solid at that quote, number 9, Mariah. 550 out to 14, Unwanted, the last start winner, Novatorio. 21 into 13, a spec for number 11, Whiskey Mac. 26 in from 34, number 12, Lacey Ace. 26, number 13, Witch Street. And 70 to 1, the outsider, number 16, Moonlight River. My numbers 5, 10, 9 and 3. Royce is also with 5, 9, 10 and 3. Very similar numbers for Scott and Royce in the last. Here he is to call them home in the Goldfields Variety Handicap.
Here comes Scottish Laird. Thanks, Stu. Tab radio on board as Scottish Laird goes forward. Good little race, this one. There goes Mariah into line. So there's a couple out the back still to come forward, including Elusive Dream. Also the favourite, Ruling Dame. And I Am King. Been another good day for Peter Fernie. He's got 4 so far, and the favourite in this, Lucy's ridden 3, and Troy Turner 2. So they're the star performers in the training ranks and the riding ranks. As I Am King is about to come forward, Victoria Corver in the saddle. She's done a great job with Debonair, this progressive type from the Fiona Scott stable, Victoria, and they've stuck thick with her, and they've got 4 on the trot on the Goldfields. Debonair, perhaps. Who knows where the roof is in terms of Debonair's, I guess, racing this season, if you like. Okay, Ruling Dame goes forward. So Ruling Dame locked away. The red light's on over at the Hannon's Handicap start. And there we go. Starter releases the field. Good Dispatch to Pray With You going back. Likewise also Ruling Dame from the draw. So with early speed it was Lacey's Ace who finds the top. So Lacey's Ace 3/4 Soldiers Camp who's going to settle down prominent. There goes around the outside Moonlight River to settle in third, followed next of all by Witch Street. Then we had the last start winner in Novatorio, Maraschino, just better than midfield. I Am King next, followed by Whiskey Mac. Then Elusive Dream to the outside, Scottish Laird, well back together with Mariah. And then well back then to Pray With You, with also down on the inside Altina. And this favourite, Ruling Dame, is spotting the leader a good 12 lengths at the rear of the field. So 600 metres to run. It's Lacey Ace who shows the way. Moonlight River second, Soldiers Camp getting a perfect run third. They were followed by Witch Street. Then we had Novatorio to the outside. The fence I Am King, followed next of all by Maraschino, Elusive Dream, just tacking on to these runners. Then Whiskey Mac around the outside. We had Scottish Laird. They were being followed well back by Mariah, Pray With You, and Ruling Dame pulled to the extreme outside, but 8 lengths to make up. Inside the final 250, and it's Lacey Ace joined by I Am King on the fence. Down the outside, Scottish Laird running a race today. Then we had Novatorio, but it's Scottish Laird. Scottish Laird at any old price goes on and wins the last. Second in I Am King, third Mariah. There's a trifecta that you hope you have. Mariah fourth. They were followed in next of all by Soldiers Camp fourth, my apologies. They were followed in next of all by Witch Street. Then we had Novatorio, Pray With You, Maraschino, Ruling Dame, never got into it. Elusive Dream, well back, followed in by Altina, Moonlight River, and Lacey Ace was last. $21.80. 7 gets second. Number 4, Scottish Laird, your winner. Ahead of the 7, I Am King, 9, Mariah. And 10 will get fourth in Novatorio. 4, 7, 9, 10. 4, 7, 9, 10, 125, 54. Scottish Laird bouncing back to form and no doubt knocking a lot of people out of the quaddie. Scottish Laird for Rickie Brown and Laqdar Romoly. Beautiful ride this from a wide draw. And the horses sprouted wings in that last half furlong. Just having a look at the replay now. The horse started its run a couple of lengths ahead of Ruling Dame. Novatorio to the inside of it, but by geez, it's really eaten up the ground late. So number 4 at $21.80 and 6.10, the place is Scottish Laird. Trent Brown and Anush Budu by Heroic Veltler out of Kamadiva. Rickie Brown and Laqdar Romoly combining to take out the last upset result. Number 7, I Am King, better run today. Gary Bowen and Victoria Corver combining by King's Troop from Czar Fortune, owned by Gary Bowen, Jay Dowdle, Daryl Mapleson, Ashot Perec, and R. McNamara. Third in was the 9, and that is Mariah for Brett Jury and Troy Turner by Rommel from Holy Mountain, owned by Jay Jury, Paige Sanders, also M. Byrne, Paul Watson, Johnny Prosser, Roger Pascoe and Brian Pascoe, and fourth in was the 10. That is Novatorio for Pete Fernie and Keshore Duran. Have a look at that trifecta, $4,280. Hopefully somebody on course has managed to snag, but it was all Scottish Laird. A length and 3/4 by a short neck, 125.54. And an explosive turn of foot on display there by the 3-year-old, who now makes it 3 wins from 10 starts. He's a bit green coming back into the enclosure, but a fantastic win by Scottish Laird. 4, 7, 9, 10 interim numbers after the running of the Goldfields Variety Handicap.